So Tna Impact took place in Salt Lake City, Utah. And the show starts with Dixie Carter coming to the ring. In the ring, there is a Welcome Back AJ Styles banner, along with Styles' merch displayed. Dixie says that the focus for tonight is not on her, and that she needs to correct her small mistake. She is ready to forget the past and concentrate on the future. And the future is AJ Styles. She calls out Styles and he comes to the ring. Dixie says that her plan of motivating Styles to greatness is working. She says that her brilliance brought him out of his slump. Dixie says that she knows Styles wants to make her pay and she is ready to do that. And she offers him a dressing room with expensive food and beverages, as well as a fancy watch, supposedly used. Then she shows him his new car and wants to know if he can forget the animosity between them. Styles tells Dixie that the gifts are just tools that she is using to try to control him. He hints that his way of making her pay is completely different from her idea of gift giving. Styles says that he prefers a truck rather than a car, and he has no need for his own dressing room because he wants to be with the guys that help build the company. He says that because Dixie didn't support him in the past, she is the reason that she is in this mess now. Dixie says that she was wrong for being upset about Styles winning the world title at Bound for Glory and making the rematch between him and Bully Ray. But she tells him that he doesn't have to defend the title against Bully Ray tonight as long as he agrees to be on her side. Then Bully Ray and Brooke Tessmacher come to the ring. And Bully Ray says that he didn't make the trip to Utah to not get his rematch for the title. Styles tells Bully Ray that since he is the champion, he will finish speaking first before Bully Ray says anything. He says that he doesn't have to agree to the rematch because he is still without a contract, but he will be a fighting champion and defend the title successfully by beating Bully Ray. Bully Ray tells Styles that luck is the only reason why Styles won the title. He blames referee Earl Hebner, saying that Hebner did not see him kick out of the pin after Styles' spiral tap. Bully Ray tells Styles that he's going to hurt him, then beat him for the belt, and then send him home to his family, defeated. He says that he is a god and that God would be him if he were a bully. Styles says that Bully Ray should worry about Aces and Eights rather than his family, stating that there are only 3 members left, 2 of which that will not help him tonight. He says that when he wins, he will celebrate with the fans. And then Bully Ray catches Styles with a punch to the midsection and Styles goes down. And Bully Ray hits him with one of the enlarged photos of Styles and then hits him 3 times with one of the easels. And Bully Ray clears away the merch from the table and brings Styles over to it, setting him up to put him through it. Then the lights go out. And Mr. Anderson's music and graphics play. Mr. Anderson appears and runs to the ring. He stands across from Bully Ray, who wants to know what he's doing there. The 2 exchange blows until Anderson gains the advantage and punches Bully Ray into the corner. Anderson climbs into the middle rope and continues to pound away at Bully Ray. Anderson falls back and Bully Ray retreats. Anderson gets on the mic and says that he missed the crowd, then asks if they missed him. And then he sarcastically says that he missed Bully Ray mostly and wonders if Bully Ray missed him. He moves his neck and says that it feels fine. Anderson says that he watched Bully Ray from home and states that everyone has had it with Bully Ray's actions. And then Dixie comes back out with her goon squad and tells them to escort Anderson from the ring in handcuffs because he has no permission to be there. The goons come at Anderson and he quickly disposes of two of them. The other two confront him, but instead of engaging, Anderson extends his arms and allows them to handcuff him. They take him from the ring and walk him to the back. Okay. Solid segment, but it dragged too long. Bully Ray was strong as always, and Styles was decent enough, but Dixie continues to show inconsistency as she still struggles with trying to portray herself as a credible heel. She started the segment catering to Styles and telling him that she was proud to have him as the champion. But then after Bully Ray tells Styles that he's going to beat him for the title, Dixie tells him that he better do it. Then when Styles says that he is going to remain the champion, she tells Bully Ray that he can't let that happen when she is supposed to be supporting Styles. Yes, I know. Dixie's going to get better. No, she isn't. As for Mr. Anderson's return, I would have much preferred that he came back as the same guy that he was before, when he was with Aces and Eights. That was a guy who had his own persona. And that guy was more interesting and more tolerable than the guy trying to be a hybrid of two wrestlers with the ridiculous microphone drop gimmick. So then we had the women's tag team match. Gail Kim, accompanied by Lady Tapa and Brooke Tessmacher versus Velvet Sky and ODB. What reason was there for Lady Tapa's music and graphics to be playing when she's not in this match? And to play it before Gail's music and graphics. Gail is the champion. So-so match. The match ends with Tessmacher throwing forearms to ODB in the corner. She goes up on the middle rope, but ODB shoves her off the rope and Tessmacher lands face first. Tessmacher makes the tag to Gail, but ODB tags in Velvet. Velvet hits Gail with consecutive barely touching arm taps and a barely touching elbow. Velvet whips Gail, but Gail reverses the whip. Velvet comes off the ropes and executes a spinning head scissors takedown. Velvet delivers a couple of kicks to Gail and comes off the ropes with a neck breaker. She goes for the pin, but Tessmacher breaks it up. Tessmacher kicks Velvet, but is taken down with a spear by ODB. And while ODB and Tessmacher spill out of the ring, Gail grabs a chair from ringside. And as the ref tries to stop Gail from bringing the chair into the ring, Tapa comes into the ring and catches Velvet with a boot to the face. Tapa leaves, and Gail pins Velvet for the 3. The winners of the match, Gail Kim and Brooke Tessmacher. So just as I said previously, TNA is going to have Gail dependent on Tapa to win matches. That makes Gail look weak. The nucleus is not supposed to look weak in this way. I was hoping to see a new face in the women's division ready to challenge Gail, but that didn't happen. So since TNA is running rematches from Bound for Glory, expect to see Gail versus ODB without Brooke next week. Then Gail will probably defend against Velvet the week after that. TNA needs to bring in new female talent immediately, or the women's division will continue to sink lower than it already has. So then we see the glorified jobbers backstage. So then we see Ethan Carter III versus Dewey Barnes. Stop giving these jobbers a ring entrance. You are not supposed to make them a bigger deal than they should be. This match was another squasher, with Ethan winning the match by executing the headlock driver. Note to TNA: a jobber should not be executing a missile dropkick against a wrestler to which you are giving a slow build and trying to make look as good as possible. As I said, Ethan looks promising, but the nepotism angle with him and Dixie is going to limit him. It's already doing that. Instead of a cool catchphrase that he could be saying, he has to say, quote, "I'm a Carter, the world needs us," unquote. So then we see Sting and Magnus backstage. Magnus tells Sting that he watched their match from Bound for Glory, and even though he was satisfied with getting the win, he didn't show Sting the proper respect. He says that he was so concentrated on winning the match that he didn't appreciate the fact that Sting gave him the opportunity to face him. Sting says that he isn't worried about that. He wonders if he, quote, passed the torch or lit a fire or both, unquote. And Magnus tells Sting that he's living in his world. So the segment seemed to show that Magnus is not going to turn heel, but it could be misleading. Sting, you didn't pass the torch or light a fire or both, because you didn't even take out the match to light the fire. Bound for Glory needed to be Sting's last appearance in the ring as a wrestler. So then we see Kurt Angle come to the ring. Angle says that the Bound for Glory weekend was a difficult time for him. He appreciates the talent putting him over at the banquet, but he could not accept the formal introduction when Sting presented it to him because he has more to prove. Angle says that his match with Robert Roode at Bound for Glory was physically demanding and that he did knock himself out with the Angle slam off the top rope. Then Robert Roode comes to the ring. Roode says that it's sad to hear Angle make excuses, adding that he turned down the Hall of Fame induction because he knew that he could not defeat him. He says that Angle made the right decision because Roode did beat him. Roode says that not beating Angle for the world title at Bound for Glory 2011 caused him to live 2 years with that failure. He says that Angle now has to live with the failure of losing at Bound for Glory 2013. Angle says that Roode may be a badass, but that doesn't make him better. He challenges Roode to a match, and Roode wants to do it, but he says no because Angle can't wrestle. Roode takes out a piece of paper that turns out to be a doctor's note that states that because of the damage to Angle's knee that occurred during the Bound for Glory match, Angle is not allowed to compete tonight. Angle confirms that he can't wrestle, but he says that the doctor didn't say that he couldn't fight. He slugs Roode and pounds him on the mat until the Goon Squad separates them. This was a good segment, and it provided a solid build for their rematch next week. So then we see Aces and Eights backstage. Bully Ray tells Mike Knox and Garrett Bischoff that Mr. Anderson showed how selfish he is and that instead of repairing his relationship with Aces and Eights, he came for payback against him. He says that Anderson has always been someone who looks out for himself, and that's what got him arrested. And Bully Ray says that while he is regaining his world title, he wants Knox and Bischoff to go down to the jail and ensure that Anderson does not make bail. Now, how are Knox and Bischoff supposed to prevent someone from posting bail? Now, they could physically prevent Anderson from making it back to the arena once he was bailed out. That would sound more realistic from a storyline point of view. Or would Knox and Bischoff purposely allow Anderson to make it back to the arena? So then we see the glorified jobbers come to the ring, and all I heard was a lot of mumbling about nothing, although the "You can't wrestle" chant from the crowd was loud, clear, and accurate. Then James Storm and Gunner come to the ring, and then Bad Influence comes to the ring, and then Eric Young and dumbass Joseph Park come to the ring. So basically this segment was a mess. The only thing that it accomplished was that it showcased how bad the so-called tag team division is. So then we had the World Heavyweight Championship. AJ Styles defending against Bully Ray, accompanied by Brock Tessmacher. Good match. The match ends with Bully Ray tossing Styles into the ref, knocking him down. Bully Ray comes towards Styles, but Styles takes him down and applies the calf killer. Bully Ray taps, but the ref is still down. Styles releases the hold, thinking that he has won the match, but he sees that the ref is still down and tries to get him to his feet. He turns his attention back toward Bully Ray, but Bully Ray hits him with a chain and follows that with a neck breaker. He goes for the pin, but Styles kicks out. Bully Ray grabs the chain and prepares to use it again on Styles, but Mr. Anderson comes to the ring and gets up on the ring apron. Bully Ray takes a swing with the chain, but Anderson ducks and falls off the ring apron as he brings Bully Ray's neck down on the top rope. Bully Ray turns back to Styles, who catches him in a crucifix pin for the 3. The winner of the match, AJ Styles. A couple of goons approach Anderson, but Bully Ray goes after him and the two start brawling until they are separated. Then Dixie Carter appears on the big screen with a contract for AJ Styles, and she tells him not to leave because she's on her way to the ring. So then we see Dixie Carter come to the ring. Dixie says that she thought that the gifts that she offered Styles earlier was what he wanted. She says that she came at him with the wrong strategy and offers him a big money contract with the new car as a signing bonus. Dixie tells him to sign the contract and stay with the company. Styles says that the contract was created by a ruthless woman who earns the big bucks off the sacrifices of the wrestlers. He says that Dixie hasn't had faith in him in months and wipes his ass with the contract. Styles says that making Dixie pay was not about getting paid. He says that she doesn't respect him, the title, or the fans, and he states that he is leaving and taking the title to the fans. And then Styles leaves the ring, walks to the back, gets in the new car, and drives off as Dixie shrieks at him not to leave. Show ends. Having AJ Styles, the foundation of TNA, as the world champion with a new creative direction is a logical move. Having that creative direction revolve around Dixie Carter isn't a logical move. This is the latest example of TNA's consistent movement. One step forward, one or two steps backwards. Maybe this new creative direction will allow TNA to finally move in one continuous direction and not be pulled back. But if the same incompetent decision making is being made on all levels, regardless of who's in charge, TNA won't be moving forward or backwards. They just won't be moving. I'm Tazmart 2002, and that was my TNA Impact Analysis for October 24th, 2013. If you're listening to me on YouTube, please leave your comments below. Click the like or dislike button, and if you subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. If you're listening to me on the Wrestling News Talk Facebook page, please leave your comments below and click the like button if you like what I've been saying. If you have any questions or comments for me about TNA or wrestling in general, you can contact me on Twitter, Tazmart2002, Tazmark 2002. And if your comments exceed to 140, get at me with an email, Tazmart2002@gmail.com. And be sure to listen to the TNA Impact review that I do with Chuck P live every Friday morning at 11:30 on Chuck P's channel. So if you haven't watched us, give us a look. And if you're unable to watch us live, you can always watch the archive on Chuck P's channel. Solid show. Solid show. Tna has launched this new concept called Where Action Never Ends, in which the lives of the wrestlers and their storylines will be covered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week over various social media platforms. I can appreciate the ambition that this project presents, but it won't solve the creative problems that still exist if TNA continues to do nothing about them. The women's division is redundant. The tag team division is non-existent. The X division is inconsistent. It's like getting a paint job for a car with a bad engine. The car looks great on the outside, but if the internal problem continues to exist, the car will eventually become inoperable. TNA, there is nothing wrong with this paint job. Fix the engine first. I'm Tazmart 2002. Gone.